Okay. Getting a little dark out, a little too dark to be working, so I thought I would try something here. I got two of the wheels off of the Comet, and they're these aluminum style wheels that have the kind of like the clear coat on top, which is all peeling and looks like shit. So anyway, yesterday I threw a coat of this stripper. It's like a furniture stripper, but anyway, I've had this over. This was left over from another project I was working on. So I doused these yesterday, but of course you're not supposed to let that stuff dry. So what I did is they kind of accidentally baked in the sun, so you're not supposed to do that. So I'm going to do another application, and I'm going to let it sit for a bit. I'm going to get a putty knife, and I'm going to see if I can get any of the clear coat off. I'm just going to douse these down with the rest of this old can. Maybe see if I can reactivate some of the stuff that I laid down yesterday. These clear coat, usually pretty easy to come off. But I just want to see, because I don't have really a lot of options, because this car has 14-inch rims. And that's, 14 is not really the issue. That's kind of good because tires are cheap. Problem is that it's just a 4-bolt pattern. So it's pretty hard to find nice rims for an old car that are 4-bolt pattern. Like anything, any Mustang wheels or any. I was on the Krager website even, because I love those wheels, but I saw nothing that had a 4-bolt pattern. I could be wrong. But anyway, I'm just going to see. Maybe I can clean up these old wheels and keep them. They're not horrible. I don't love them, but they're better than just a steel wheel, I guess. Okay, let's just douse these down and experiment. This is an experiment. This can of stripper is a couple years old. Like I said, left over from a renovation project. I'm going to douse these. Which kind of goes a long way. I'm going to give them a good dousing. And I'm going to come back with a putty knife. And tomorrow is supposed to be overcast and rainy, so it'd be better. A rainy day would be better than today, which was kind of hot and sunny. So my stuff just kind of dried. It'd be good also maybe is if I wrap them up in plastic. That keeps the product activated longer. Anyway, yeah. This is lasting longer than I thought. Okay, well, I'm going to finish off this can. I'm going to let this sit, and I'll come back with a putty knife just to see if I get any. Okay, well, it's about 20 minutes later, and I think this is going to work. By golly, I think this is going to work. Now, I've done rims like this in the past, where I sanded the clear coat off, and that's kind of messy, and it takes a long time. And if your sandpaper is too aggressive, then you sand into the aluminum, and then you got more sanding to do later on. So, I'll just try this little brush here. And if this works, then this will be a cheap solution. I will have to do a little bit of light sanding, I'm sure, but it should take off the bulk of the clear, and then once the clear coat is off, even if you light sand, you can give a light sand, and then instead of re-clearing, because you could also re-clear, but the clear coat stuff that you get in the can is, let's face it, doesn't last very long. Maybe the 2K is a little bit better, but I've never had great luck with that stuff. You can just get the metal polish with one of those buffing wheels, and you can really make these sparkle. So this may be promising here. So now I guess what I'm going to have to do is maybe I'll bring him out and hose him down, because if I let this harden up again, I talked about plastic, but of course I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to keep rubbing, and keep rubbing and scrubbing. I'm going to let this stuff, and leave it on a little. See, this one here still has quite a bit of residue, I see. Doesn't seem like it peeled off as well as the other one. Or is that corrosion? Does this have to be sanded out? Or is that clear coat? Hard to say. For some reason, and I don't know why, at a glance this one looks better. Mine's just not perfect. But anyway, so let's do that to this one. I'm going to scrub this one as well. This is a test, a trial, and I'm just using this premium furniture stripper. Strips paint, epoxy, polyurethane from wood, metal, masonry. Well, what the heck? And I've got some more of this inside the house. So I'll start with these two wheels, and I'm going to keep scrubbing them, and I'm going to hose them off and maybe see what they look like tomorrow in the light of day. Maybe I can compare them to the two wheels that are still on the car that are not touched. Okay, I'm going to keep scrubbing. Okay, so in my last video, I doused these rims in stripper to get the clear coat off. And it certainly took the clear coat off, but it left all this spider webbing and stuff. So what I've done is I found a place that will do some sandblasting. So it's a pretty good price. It's $30 a wheel. I'm going to sandblast the entire thing. And after that, I'm not sure if I'm going to paint, polish. They also offer powder coating, so we'll see how this goes. That's what they look like now. Okay, so it's about a week later, and I got my rims back. Previously, as you've seen, I had tried to strip these old rims, and of course there was a lot of corrosion and scratching and stuff. So I did try that method. And then I had found a company that could refinish these wheels, basically put it on a lathe and turn them down smooth. But in order to do that, I would have had to pop out all these little rivets here, which actually do come out. And to me, that seemed like a real can of worms. I decided not to go that route. So I found another place, and they do sandblasting and power. Excuse the noise. They do sandblasting and powder coating. So the powder coating was quite expensive. It works out to be a little over $100 a wheel. And like I said, these are my massive 14-inch 4-bolt rims that are my 62 Comet. I don't love them, but I think I want to make them work. So I didn't want to spend all that money for the powder coating. I didn't think it was worth it because I'd be in like in the 500 range, and then you got to pay for the blasting on top, and I still have no center cap, so it just wasn't worth it for what I had. But what I did decide to do is get the sandblasting done. And so that was $30 a wheel, so $120. I got these sandblasted. So all I've got left now is just raw aluminum. The only thing is with the sandblasting is it almost leaves like a little rough surface. So if I wanted to polish this, I would certainly have my work cut out. So I'm probably not going to do that. Another advantage of the sandblasting is that, well, they do the entire wheel. So everywhere where the bead's going to go is done, and all the back is done, and all the old weights are removed. So I'm just left with some clean aluminum, and I'm pretty happy about that. Price was right. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attempt to paint these. Now, my car, as you know, is it's going to be bright yellow. So I thought maybe I could make them yellow, but that just might be too much. So I went the old rattle can cheap way, which seems to be the way I always end up going. So I got this Rust-Oleum metallic finish. I mean, I'm sure it's going to look nothing like the cap. It never really does. But I think with this kind of coarse finish, I think the paint will stick well to this. So I'm going to wash them down with some brake cleaner, and I'm going to spray these with this Rust-Oleum bright coat metallic finish. Again, it's not going to look like that. They try to make you believe it's going to look like chrome, but I know it's not. It'll basically be a version of this, but the aluminum will be protected. It won't be able to tarnish. And then for any reason, if I don't like it, then it's easy to take that off. And I could try something else, maybe plasti dipping or something, but I'm going to go with this for now. And I've also got a set of rubbers, so I'll show once they've been sprayed, and then I'll show once the rubber's on. Okay. Okay, so here are the rims with 2 coats of the chrome paint. So I think they turned out quite nice. I did 1 light coat. A couple of them had little specks, little imperfections. I did a very light sanding, and then I recoated them again. This one here is a little shinier. I laid the paint on, looks like I laid the paint on a little bit thicker. These look like drips, but they're actually not. They're little dents. I can live with that. Overall, for a $10 can of chrome spray paint, I think the old rims are looking good. So, the sandblasted raw aluminum, and this is what they're going to look like. So, next time, next footage I take will be with the rubber on. So, quite happy with this. Quite happy. Okay, well, here's the finished products on the rims. So again, these are my car rims that I had sandblasted. They're aluminum rims. I had them sandblasted and painted in chrome paint. And here they are with their new rubber. 14-inch. These are nice and narrow and tall, so they should fit nicely in that rear wheel arch. And of course, you don't get the full effect because the car's in pieces, but these are the wheels. And I think this is a pretty good solution. Cheap solution for an aluminum wheel. Right now it's cold. There's a little bit of dew on them, but quite nice. Chrome spray paint over aluminum. Now, how durable it's going to be, not sure, but I think they look good. Okay, so this is how I refinished the wheels. All right.